All right, our other top story at 5. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan makes it official. He is, to no one's surprise, launching a campaign for governor. But that's just part of the story.
That's because the longtime Democrat made the decision to run as an independent. So let's get out to Erica Erickson. She's live tonight. Erica, you spoke with the mayor this afternoon.
I certainly did, and this has not been on his mind as long as we may have thought. And while this was a surprise to many of us, as you said, that he was running as an independent, the people we spoke to today, Detroiters and Michiganders, said it was also a surprise to them that he's running as an independent.
I'm not running to be the Democrats' governor or the Republicans' governor. I'm running to be your governor.
It's this video announcement that's getting Detroiters and Michiganders curious about what could be next.
Why not? Why not give him a chance? Everybody else does it, so why not him?
He's done a great deal of good things, and even before it, I've lived in the city of Detroit my whole life. So seeing how we've gone from mayor to mayor, he's definitely been a good stepping stone in the right direction.
Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan announcing his decision to run for governor in 2026 as an independent, a move that he says only came about in the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Are you running because you want a position, or are you running because you think you can help change things? I ran in Detroit because I felt like my kind of politics could pull people together.
Duggan says low Democratic voter turnout played into his decision, but really his frustration with the two-party system has been growing for a while. And he wants to focus on practical solutions rather than political credit, like education reform.
Most people don't run for office because they hate somebody. Most people run for office because there's something they wanted to do. And you get transformed into this partisan conflict once you hit the borders of Lansing. I want to see if I can't get the legislators to reach down into their hearts and say, I came here to do things, and maybe see if we get some things done.
And he's confident Detroiters and Michiganders are fed up more than enough, too.
He did a great job with the city. He did a great job for the state.
You got faith in him?
Yeah, why not?
If he's got the right people around him, I think he can pull it off.
A lot of positive feedback today. That's just some of the folks that we talked to. Now, speaking with Duggan, he says that he still plans to focus all of his attention on his mayoral duties, of course, and then come 2026, he'll be going across the state and gathering input from not only Detroiters, but of course, Michiganders as well. Reporting live in Detroit, downtown Detroit rather. Erica Erickson, back to you.
Erica, thank you. Devin.
All right, want to get some better insight into Duggan's decision to run as an independent. Dave Giulio, professor of political science at Oakland University, has had his finger on the pulse of Michigan politics for years. Dave, ever since he won a write-in campaign and first became mayor, I stopped doubting his ability to pull off anything. Let's start with why this might work out and why it might seem kind of brilliant, if it is.
Sure, I think that there's a chance that that might be the case because of the attitudes of the American public, and probably a lot of Michiganders too, in terms of their views of the political parties. Right now, we are at or near an all-time high of people who are disavowing the parties and are saying that they are independents. We also have majorities of Americans who have unfavorable views of both the Democratic and Republican parties. He even picked up on some of these themes in his video today. I think that really drives home that, hey, look, I'm going to try to be nonpartisan if I can, even though he's a well-known and longtime Democrat, right? He's going to try to step off the fray there.
Well, in fact, let's talk then. A purple state would seem to be a place where this would maybe be most possible, but talk now about why it might be a perilous decision.
Well, there are, well, look, the best way to put it is this is an uphill battle. Right? It always is for third-party candidates, for minor party candidates. They often lack the funding. I don't think he'll have that trouble. I think he'll be able to raise the money he needs. But they're usually lacking the infrastructure that can come along with a party-nominated candidate for volunteers, for get-out-the-vote efforts, those sorts of things. So he's going to have to build that himself, which might be one of the reasons why he's making this announcement now. It gives him a lot more time to raise more money and to build that campaign structure.
It's short-circuiting something that people like you and me were kind of relishing, which was looking at what looked to be a real battle of titans on the Democratic side for this nomination. Pete Buttigieg has been rumored, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, maybe even Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, but this allows him to skip what could be a Democratic bloodbath, right?
Absolutely, and he just sort of advances to pass. He passes go and collects $200 right in the old Monopoly game. He's right up to the general election now. He can just focus on running a general election campaign without any worry of that potentially nasty primary that is going to save him money and maybe some political points as well.
Lastly, a question that I pointed out at 4 o'clock that I'm really eager to see how this plays out. Those mainline Democrats in Southeast Michigan who have been huge supporters of his, can they really pull the lever for an independent and skip the Democratic candidate who will be? What will they do? He's really created a conundrum for them.
He has, and this is the fascinating thing, right? About one of the many fascinating things about this is how does he navigate that? How does he build a winning coalition of votes that he's going to have to pull from both sides, right? Democrats and Republicans, and bring them together to try to get to the number of votes he needs.
Votes and money. Right,
yeah, right, for sure.
Dave DiLeo, it's always good to talk to you. Thanks very much
for having me.
Talking about it. You bet. Let's get back to, we're going to continue, obviously, our coverage here on this decision online. And then coming up at 6, we've got reaction coming in from Lansing. And over there on clickondetroit.com, we've got a deep dive into why the mayor is choosing to run as an independent.